Today I'm going to take you through the construction of my latest sewing pattern release, the Annie bag. This is an over-the-shoulder flat bag for hands-free use. Hiking, shopping, busy mums. It's got several pockets and I'll talk you through every step. To make this you will need your main bag fabric. This needs to be a non-stretch material that is robust and strong. Think twills, canvas, drills, denims, any heavyweight, tough fabric. The thicker the fabric, the harder it will be to sew. I am using a regular home sewing machine for this project, and this is a pretty tough fabric. If your machine struggles with bulky seams, perhaps consider a slightly thinner weight than this here. I'm using a waterproof fabric. The M bag will not be fully waterproof, but it will certainly help protect my bag from light rain, spilt drinks and being placed on the floor. For a fully waterproof bag, you would need to look at waterproof zippers and tape seam, but for me this little bit of protection is fine. Your lining fabric can be a simple quilting cotton. You want it with no stretch again, thin and light. Its function is decorative to hide the insides of the bag from view. Fusible padded interfacing, approximately 4mm thick. You don't have to use this, I find it adds a nice structure to the bag, but you can skip this for regular interfacing to reduce bulk and weight in the end bag. 2 regular closed end zips. The sizes you need are 30cm and 18cm. I bought 2 longer ones for this as I hadn't drafted the bag pattern when I ordered my materials. Bag webbing strap 25mm wide. 2cm wide bias binding. You can make your own from your lining fabric to really match or buy pre-made. I have a tutorial above with how to make your own. 2 D-rings 3cm wide. If you want an adjustable bag strap, you may also wish to include a tri-slider of the same width. The front pocket has a press stud close, so you need a snapper and a tool to apply it. This is optional. You can leave this pocket with no fastener or use glue and magnets, Velcro options if you prefer. Just have a look round at fastenings. All the materials listed here I will provide a link to in the description where I bought them from. You will also need a strip of elastic 6mm wide and 18cm long. Finally, you need your pattern, which can be downloaded from the link below at Etsy. This is an instant download in a PDF format. Just print it out on your home printer, stick a few of the pages together for the bigger pattern pieces and you are ready to go. To make this, you will need a regular sewing machine, a fresh needle as with all new projects, and a regular machine thread in whatever colour you want. I will be using a matching colour today. Beginning with the front pocket, fold it in half right sides together. Sew from the open end to the fold with a 1cm seam allowance. Leave a gap in the middle of approximately 2 inches. The thicker your fabric, the wider of the gap you will need. Trim the corners and turn the pocket the correct way round, through the hole we left. Push out the corners sharp. This fabric is really tough and resists this. If you are struggling to get a sharp finish because of your fabric choice, you can alter the pattern. Instead of using your main fabric, do not cut this pattern piece on the fold, but add a 1cm allowance to the fold edge. Cut one of your new pattern from your main fabric and one from your lining fabric. Join them on your original fold edge and follow these steps the same. Press it as you go to help, then sew along the open edge to lock it in position. If you don't like this pocket design, you can actually change it for any of my cargo pockets. The links are below. Just adjust the size of the patterns to fit the dimensions of the bag. To attach the pocket to the bag, use an erasable fabric marker to mark the centre of the bag and measure up by 3cm. Measure out from the centre line by 4.5cm to the left and then 4.5 centimetres to the right, drawing 2 vertical lines. This is the outer edge of our pocket. Place the pocket on top, right side up. Align the bottom edge and one side edge. Top stitch along the edge with a 1/8 inch seam allowance. Make sure you backstitch at the top and bottom of this seam so it's really secure. Repeat this for the other side. The pocket will not lay flat as you do this. Now match the centre of the pocket with the centre line of the bag and pin. Working one side at a time, fold the excess under so it is flat along the base. Sew from the middle to the edge in a top stitch fashion again. Then repeat it for the other side. Once again, this is where thick fabric will fight you. Just take it slow and where needed, hand wind your machine just to keep control. This is a regular home sewing machine that I am using, and this is waterproof hard fabric. It's pretty much as tough as you will get, and it works. Now apply your fastener to the top of your pocket. I have used a press stud. I attached the pocket outer first and then use that to mark the position of my back fabric. You can use any fastening you prefer here, including fusible Velcro or glue-on magnets instead. If you don't have press studs, then there are other options for you. Take a lining body section and fuse the interfacing to the middle on the wrong side of the fabric. When you fuse, lift your iron and then move to the next location to press, don't slide. Align this to the back of your main fabric section we just applied the pocket to. Baste it in place around the edge at a 0.25 cm seam allowance. The elasticated pocket requires a 1/4 inch wide elastic cut 18 cm wide. Fold your lining fabric in half, wrong sides together, and press the top edge. We will align the elastic against this fold. Pin to the edge with a 1 cm overhang to allow you to grip the elastic under the machine. Do this on both sides and baste in place at the edge. The elastic is shorter than the fabric width, causing it to bunch up. Pull it taut to work at your machine. We will sew along the side of the elastic without catching the elastic. It helps to attach your zipper foot to do this. Hold the elastic and stretch it as you go so the fabric lays flat. Steam it once done to help the elastic recover. Align the lower edge of the pocket to the bottom edge of the bag. Pin the sides, aligning the edges. At the base, pin and align the centre. Then fold in the excess fabric on each side in turn, like we did on our outer pocket. I like to place my folds at about the halfway point on each side. Baste this in place at the 0.25 seam allowance line, working from the exterior bag side. This is so we can follow the curved edge. Trim the excess elastic and pocket corners to a curve to match the exterior. The back panel of the bag has a zip pocket. Begin by fusing the interfacing to the wrong side of the main fabric of the zipper top section and the zipper bottom section. Place your interfacing so it is 1 cm from all edges, except the edge that aligns to the zipper. This will be smaller, but you don't need to measure it. If you have a zipper of the required length, ensure you mark the centre of each piece and your zipper and align these points. You want to place your zipper face down to the right side of your main fabric. Secure this in place with pins or zips. Place the lining fabric right side facing the back of the zipper on top. You are sandwiching the zipper in the middle. Sew with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Press the fabric out the correct way and top stitch 1/8 inch from the zipper. Repeat this full process for the opposite side. When you do this, ensure you're aligning the outer edges so you get a big rectangle when it's folded out. You don't want them off to the side. Check your zip opens, then place the lining body to the back. Now here it is a personal choice. My fabric has a right and wrong side, but the colour is only slightly different. Inside of my bag, you will not be able to see that. If you have a very strong difference, you may want to cut 2 of these body parts and place them back to back. Otherwise, decide if you want the correct side of your lining fabric inside your bag or inside your back pocket. Align it and stitch around the edge using the lining fabric as your guide. Make sure your zipper is inside and not outside your stitch line. The mesh pocket sits on this side, and as the name suggests, it's made from a mesh, net or tulle fabric. This is not compulsory, and you can cut this from your regular lining fabric if you wish. Cut a bias binding strip equal to 17 cm and fold this over the top edge. Stitch in place along the bottom edge. You may need to hold the fabric taut to stop it being pushed into the needle plate. Place the pocket on the reverse of your zipper back, aligning the bottom edge with the bottom edge of the pocket. As before, align the sides and the bottom centre. Then fold in the excess fabric on each side. Sew around the exterior edge again on the same line as before to secure. Trim the excess fabric and zips to match the lining curves. We now have our front and back. The edge has a zipper opening at the top and a solid bottom section. Begin applying your fusible interfacing to the wrong side of the main fabric. Measure 1 cm on the zip side sections for 3 sides. The final long side will be where your zipper is attached. For the solid side section, measure 1 cm on all 4 sides so the interfacing is placed centrally. Your zipper is attached as we did on the back panel. Right side of zipper aligned to the right side of the fabric on the unmeasured edge. The lining fabric then placed on top, right side to wrong side of zipper. Sew with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Press the fabric open and top stitch along the edge at 1/8 inch. Repeat for the other side in the exact same steps. The bag shoulder strap attaches to tabs. Form these tabs by pressing the sides under by 1 cm. These tabs are square, so it does not matter which side you pick to fold in. Then fold in half and press again. Sew up each side at 1/4 inch seam allowance to secure. Do this for both tabs. Thread the D-ring onto the tab and fold it in half. Align with the small edge the centre of the tab with the centre of the zipper. Sew it down at 0.5 cm seam allowance. This can be thick. Use a bump if you need to and take your time. Trim away any excess zipper if you did not buy exact lengths. Ensure your zip is pulled out of the way here and we will add the solid section to our zipper. Align one short edge to the main fabric with the short edge of the zipper section. Match the centre point to the centre of the zip. Turn over and place the right side of the lining fabric to the base side of the zipper section. Sew with a 1 cm seam allowance. Turn it out and top stitch at 1/8 inch. This makes it stronger. Repeat on the other side. Fold the fabric round in a loop, keeping the right sides together for the main and then the lining. Once again, use a 1 cm seam allowance. Turn the correct way out and you now have a loop. Top stitch at 1/8 inch seam allowance next to your seam. Go around each side of your loop and pin or clip the lining and main fabric together. Match up centre points and evenly distribute the fabric. Sew around the edge with a long base stitch at 1/8 inch. By doing this, you are making it easier to handle later as the two layers are lined up. This is when you can make any adjustments if you have a width difference between your zipper section and your solid section, due to the thickness of your fabric. Trim the excess at the edge so it is smooth. This is why we align the centre to the zip. You can also add a second line of top stitching at your tabs for added strength. This area takes a lot of tugging and weight, so a second top stitching line adjacent to the first. You can even add a third if you wish. We have all our components and now want to construct our bag. Begin by quartering your side loop. Align the seam between the zipper and solid section first, as this will place your straps evenly on each side. Take your zipper section and we will match the quarter point that is on the middle of the zipper with the middle point of the top edge. Pin or clip this with right sides together. Now follow it round, securing the other quarter points with the midpoint of each side. Once you have these points aligned, work your way to the corners for each quarter in turn. The corner will be tight and use a pin here. We're going to sew around the edge with a 1 cm seam allowance. It helps to use your zipper foot for this. Go slow, and at the corners you may have to keep the needle down and lift the foot, adjusting the fabric to ease out any bumps. Once done, turn it the correct way around, pushing out the corners fully. Check for any gathers or bumps. If you have any, unpick the area, adjust it and re-sew it. Now repeat this for the other side. You are working with a lot of fabric now. Before you begin, ensure you open your edge zipper so that you can turn it the correct way round once you have attached the second side. Again, match the quarter points and align the edges right sides together. Sew with a 1 cm seam allowance. Pop it the right way round and check all your edges again before going forward. The inside has raw seams now which need cleaning up. Trim any loose threads first. The quick option here is to serge around this edge or use the zigzag stitch on your regular machine. However, the cleaner, prettier method is to take your bias binding and fold it around the edge. Go all the way around, clipping it in place, then sew in place. At the end, fold over the lap of the binding. Do this for both sides. Once again, I am working with my zipper foot. The strap is attached to the D-rings on both sides. Burn the edges with a flame to prevent fraying. Fold the webbing under twice and clip about 2 inches up from the D-ring. Measure the webbing the length you require, then secure the other side. If you want an adjustable strap, this is when you would apply your tri-slider before securing the second side. Go back and forth a few times when sewing this to make it really secure. So here is the finished bag. You have a front pocket perfect for a phone or umbrella, a back zipper pocket secure against your body for tickets, money and keys, a top zipper to access the main pocket where you have 2 internal pockets to keep things tidy inside. It's secure, strong and compact whilst holding a decent amount. I hope you enjoy your bag and please hit the like button. Remember to check my Etsy channel to download your pattern. If you want more sewing content, hit subscribe. I post tutorials and sewing content for all abilities. Happy sewing!